Water is the lifeblood for western Colorado.
The river is our identity.
In the West, when you touch water, you touch everything.
Our agriculture, our urban economies all depend on rivers, and the riverside habitat, otherwise known as riparian habitat, is critically important to the health of those rivers.
Without adequate water, we can't have economic development, we can't have growth, we can't meet the needs of the people and the businesses on the western slope.
You'll find that those of us along this river have a very similar agenda. It's a big part of everyday life.
Having a healthy riverfront certainly has everything to do with our healthy community.
As an avid outdoorsman who fly fishes and camps on the rivers, the first thing I noticed when I moved over into the western slope, the vegetation along the river, in this case it was mostly tamarisk, was the kind of vegetation you did not want to get close to.
Tamarisk is an invasive plant. It's a woody tree, like a shrub. It came over to the United States in the mid to late 1800s to have utility to be used in erosion control and as an ornamental. And quickly it became prolific in our western river systems and outcompetes native plants.
It was salty, it didn't allow any other plant growth, it was crowding things out, and once you got on shore you couldn't walk anywhere. It was just terrible to try to use the shorelines for any kind of recreation.
Tamarisk are responsible for channelizing the river. They introduce fire into riparian systems that traditionally don't get fire. They outcompete native plants. And then in terms of human aspect, they really impact recreation and agricultural practices that really are beneficial and very important to the quality of life for us in the West.
And you start adding up the amount of water the tamarisk and the Russian olive were drinking. That's water that can't be used downstream.
It's really more about understanding our environment, that if we're going to have the highest water quality we can possibly have, that we know we need to have an ecosystem that is as balanced as we can make it.
The Tamarisk Coalition is a nonprofit. We were founded in 2002, and our mission is to restore riverside vegetation that is impacted by tamarisk and other invasive plants.
We drove past here yesterday, and right away the brakes got thrown on, and we're like, what is all this green stuff going on?
It takes a vision that goes over years.
We fill a unique niche in that we provide education and technical support.
This is a spike rush, Eleocharis.
You don't fight tamarisk just 1 year and it's gone, because you cut tamarisk off, it just regrows.
Saw coming on!
We support a broad network of organizations and people and land managers.
My organization send folks really the boots on the ground to restore these watersheds and really implement the first action.
If you're going to clear tamarisk on the shore, it has to be a group of people that are brought together, organized, and then funded.
The Tamarisk Coalition is an essential glue in a lot of the partnerships that I work in.
We have local programs like the Desert Rivers Collaborative, and then we have regional programs where we're trying to support land managers and people that are trying to restore their rivers as a collective.
The Tamarisk Coalition does a great job of presenting the case for a balanced environment. It opens up the door for a more cooperative spirit between local governments and private landowners. So
we host an annual conference to keep people informed of the state of the science and what's happening, the newest trends in riparian restoration.
A lot of them are benefiting from the types of workshops that we're offering and the types of plant materials we're offering.
We've done some work in getting cottonwoods to grow.
Those trees are being used throughout the West in different restoration projects.
We saw in the Dolores River 170 miles of river impacted by tamarisk and Russian olive. The Bureau of Land Management wouldn't have been able to do anything if they were asked to do it by themselves. But we were able to bring in private landowners, foundations, other grantors, Conservation Corps volunteers, and we were able to work at a landscape scale. And we have restored near 700 acres on that river to date.
I was here in 1985 when this was covered with junk cars, and no one thought that it would ever look like this. So I think this is very winnable.
Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Phoenix, those communities exist because of the Colorado rivers.
Where are we going to get the water for the future? this is one of the answers. The cost it takes to take out tamarisk is small compared to the cost it's going to get for new water in the future.
The Tamarisk Coalition is an organization that has a significant impact and is a great organization to support.
People can be involved in a variety of ways. One is to learn, to get outside, use the state parks, give them feedback on what would make the experience better. Get out there, cut tamarisk, plant a willow, cage a cottonwood. There's a lot of opportunities. And the third and really important is to donate and contribute financially. We're nonprofits. We rely on donations to be able to be flexible and nimble and responsive to people's needs, and donations go a really long way.